His name was Mark. He was an ordinary man, living an ordinary life, until the night everything changed. After months of fear and humiliation, he finally found the courage to call for help, his hands shaking as he dialed. His partner, a woman he once loved and trusted, had thrown a heavy glass ashtray at him, cutting him above the eye and leaving him stunned. Blood streamed down his face as he stumbled to the bathroom, locking the door behind him, desperate for safety as he dialed 911. He whispered his address, voice trembling, barely able to speak, hoping someone on the other end would believe him and send help. When the police arrived, they saw his injury but listened to his girlfriend first, who quickly painted him as the aggressor, twisting the story. Their questions to Mark were laced with skepticism and even amusement, as if his pain was a punchline. "She did this to you? A little thing like her?" One officer smirked, disbelief clear in his tone. They didn't take a report or offer help. Instead, they told him to walk it off, as if his suffering was insignificant. As they left, Mark heard their laughter echoing down the hallway, louder than his pain, sharper than the cut above his eye. That sound told him his suffering was a joke, that as a man he wasn't allowed to be a victim no matter how real his wounds. The system he trusted had mocked him at his lowest. Mark's story isn't rare. It's echoed in headlines and whispered in support groups. Men who suffer abuse often face disbelief, ridicule, and blame, forced to hide their pain behind closed doors. Society expects men to be strong and in control, never victims. Vulnerability is seen as weakness and silence becomes their shield. When a man is abused, it shatters these stereotypes, leaving him to pick up the pieces alone. This is the story of those men, suffering in silence behind a wall of expectation and indifference, longing for someone to finally listen. Domestic abuse isn't just a women's issue. It's a human issue that affects people of all genders, backgrounds, and walks of life. Men are victims too, physically, emotionally, verbally, financially, and sexually. Their experiences are just as valid and deserving of support as anyone else's. Their pain is real, but their stories are often dismissed or mocked, leaving them feeling isolated and alone. The myth that men can't be victims is rooted in outdated ideas of masculinity and harmful stereotypes that say men must always be tough. Men are taught to be strong, so admitting abuse feels like failure. Many fear judgment or ridicule if they speak out. Abuse isn't always physical. Emotional and psychological wounds can be deeper, lasting long after the visible scars have faded. Controlling behavior, threats, and false allegations are common tactics used to manipulate and harm. These scars are often invisible but just as damaging, affecting mental health and self-worth. Recognizing male victims doesn't diminish female victims, it makes the fight against abuse more honest, compassionate, and inclusive for everyone. Domestic violence is about power and control, not gender. Anyone can be a victim, and anyone can be a survivor. Until we see the whole picture, many victims will remain unseen and unheard, suffering in silence. It's time to challenge the stereotypes, break the silence, and acknowledge all victims, because everyone deserves to be heard and helped. Mark's story is not an outlier. Statistics back it up. In the US, 1 in 4 men have experienced physical violence by an intimate partner. Nearly half of men have faced psychological aggression. 1 in 7 men have suffered severe physical violence. In the UK, men make up about a third of domestic abuse victims. Canadian surveys show similar rates for men and women. These numbers are likely underestimates. Many men never report abuse due to stigma and fear. The data reveals a hidden epidemic. Domestic violence is a human issue, not just a women's issue. The numbers demand we look beyond stereotypes and address male victimization. For men, reporting abuse is fraught with shame and fear. Admitting victimhood feels like failing at being a man. Many fear police won't believe them, or worse, will arrest them instead. Some stay silent to protect their children, fearing custody loss if they speak out. Most resources are designed for women, leaving men unsure where to turn. Shelters and hotlines often aren't equipped for male victims. This lack of support reinforces their isolation. Shame, fear, and lack of resources create a wall of silence. Too many men remain trapped behind it. Even when men seek help, the system often fails them. Most shelters and hotlines are for women. Men have few safe places to go. Police often assume men are the aggressors, ignoring evidence to the contrary. Gender profiling leads to disbelief, ridicule, or even wrongful arrest. In court, men face skepticism and higher burdens of proof. Abusive partners can weaponize the system, making false allegations to gain custody or control. These systemic failures reinforce the belief that help isn't available. The cycle of despair continues. Men deserve protection too. Our culture treats violence against men as a joke. Movies and TV play female-on-male violence for laughs, making male pain the punchline. This normalizes abuse and teaches us not to take male suffering seriously. Language and stereotypes, man up, whipped, shame men into silence. A man dominated by a partner is mocked, not helped. This cultural conditioning creates a blind spot. When real men speak up, they're met with smirks, not support. The result is profound isolation. Male victims see their pain reflected as comedy, not tragedy. The fear of ridicule is as powerful as the fear of the abuser. So many men stay silent. It's time to stop laughing and start listening. The hardest fight for male victims is internal, against shame. Men are taught to be protectors, not victims. Abuse feels like a personal failure, fueling self-blame and doubt. Abusers reinforce this with gaslighting, making men question their reality. Shame leads to depression, anxiety, and sometimes substance abuse. The cycle deepens isolation and despair. Breaking free starts with understanding. Abuse is never the victim's fault. True strength is seeking help and breaking the silence. Redefining masculinity means allowing vulnerability and healing. Overcoming shame is the first step to reclaiming life. To help all victims, we need real change. Support services must include men, shelters, hotlines, and counseling. Staff should be trained to recognize and support male victims. Public awareness campaigns must acknowledge men's experiences. Police and courts need training to overcome gender bias and treat all victims fairly. Media must stop making male victimization a punchline and tell real stories. Individuals can help by challenging jokes and stereotypes. Open conversations in schools, workplaces, and communities break the stigma. Every act of support chips away at silence. No victim should suffer alone. If you're a man and this story resonates, know you're not alone. Many men silently carry these burdens, thinking no one will understand or believe them. Your experience is real and not your fault. You deserve compassion, understanding, and support, just like anyone else. The bravest thing you can do is reach out for help. Taking that first step can feel overwhelming, but it's a sign of true strength. Resources exist. Search for men's domestic violence hotlines or support groups. There are people ready to listen and help you through this. Organizations like the National Domestic Violence Hotline and Mankind Initiative offer confidential support. You are not invisible and your pain matters. A good therapist or support group can help you heal. Recovery is possible and you don't have to do it alone. Sharing your story lifts the weight of isolation. Speaking out can inspire others to seek help too. Friends and family. If a man confides in you, believe him. Offer support, not judgment, and let him know he's valued. Help him find resources and let him know he's not alone. Your encouragement can make a world of difference. Together we can end the silence and stigma. Every voice matters and every story deserves to be heard. It's time to speak up and end this hidden epidemic. Change begins when we break the silence together.